Welcome to the jungle. It's all about survival. Life is a jungle out there. Not a literal jungle for all of us, maybe, but a jungle nonetheless. It's a constant competition for resources, mates, and survival. In this grand scheme of things, nature has a fascinating way of selecting the best traits for survival. We call this natural selection. Imagine a group of animals. Some are faster, some are stronger, and some are better camouflaged. These differences, however small, can make all the difference between life and death. The animals with traits that give them an edge are more likely to survive. Survival means a chance to reproduce. And when these survivors reproduce, they pass on their advantageous traits to their offspring. Over time, these beneficial traits become more common in the population. This, in essence, is natural selection. Think of it like a giant game of chance where the house always wins. The house, in this case, is the environment, and the winners are those best suited to their surroundings. Let's dive deeper into the fascinating world of natural selection and explore its different forms. The balancing act. Stabilizing selection. Imagine walking through a forest after a windstorm. You might notice that most of the fallen trees are very tall or very short. The medium-sized trees seem to have weathered the storm better. This, my friends, is a prime example of stabilizing selection in action. Stabilizing selection favors the average. It's like a sculptor meticulously chipping away at the extremes, leaving behind a smooth, refined form. In our forest, the medium-sized trees were the most stable and resilient, able to withstand the wind's force. This type of selection is all about maintaining the status quo. If an environment remains relatively stable over time, stabilizing selection ensures that the organisms best suited to that environment thrive. It's nature's way of saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shifting gears. Directional selection. Imagine our forest is experiencing a prolonged drought. Water sources are dwindling, and the trees are feeling the heat. Some trees have slightly deeper roots, accessing moisture underground. Here, directional selection comes into play. Trees with deeper roots are now the champions of survival. They are more likely to weather the drought and reproduce. Think of it like a game of musical chairs. The environment throws a curveball. Those who can adapt quickly, like our deep-rooted trees, get a seat. Those who can't are left standing. The road less traveled. Disruptive selection. Let's journey to the Galapagos Islands, where a fascinating story of disruptive selection unfolds. We encounter a species of finch with a peculiar trait: beak size. Some finches have small, delicate beaks, while others sport large, powerful ones. It turns out that the island offers two primary food sources: small soft seeds and large tough seeds. The finches with small beaks excel at handling the small seeds, while those with large beaks are masters at cracking open the larger ones. Finches with medium-sized beaks, however, struggle to efficiently utilize either food source. This is disruptive selection at its finest. It favors the extremes, pushing the population towards two distinct groups. Over time, this can even lead to the formation of entirely new species, each specialized for its particular niche. Section 5. The dating game. Sexual selection. Now, let's talk about the birds and the bees, or rather, the peacocks and peahens. Male peacocks are known for their fancy tail feathers, a dazzling display of colors and patterns. Peahens, on the other hand, have more simple feathers. Why the big difference? It all comes down to sexual selection. a special part of natural selection. In the animal world, finding a mate is just as important as staying alive, sometimes even more so. In this case, peahens are attracted to the males with the most impressive tail displays. It's a sign of good genes and a healthy mate. So even though a flashy tail might seem like a problem in the wild, it's a ticket to having babies.